All right. Hey guys, welcome back to the Underground. This is Interactive Chat Volume 17. Welcome back, guys. I've been away for a little bit on a hiatus, and wanted to bring back this show for just a little while. And originally, the game plan was to talk about this new Aliens game from Servios, which we will. I've definitely got some thoughts to share on that. However, unfortunately, Servios had to pull out of I think they were at San Diego Comic-Con. One of them caught COVID or something. And so they have delayed any news and announcements. And so, we're going to just do something else then, shoot the shit a little bit, get back into the spirit of what interactive chat is all about, which is interacting with you guys, man, because I feel like the last couple episodes have been very, very lots of news driven. And I just want to hang out and talk with you guys. What is up, LC, Salvador, Corporate Zombie, Jamie Slark, the realist ad, Peter, what's up, guys? Dead Ringer, so good to see you. Blue Jew, Space Dennison, what's good? Yeah, man, I'll get into why I named the show that. I had like a huge thing, and I was like, you know what, screw it, because I actually thought it was interesting, this approach of these PSVR2 games we've seen so far. Man, look, I love hardcore games. I love, horror games, action games, really intense shit. But man, Sony really at this point could really throw us like, I could really use like some family friendly shit. Am I right? Am I the only one thinking this? Like, I am very, very excited about these games, but damn, Sony, like, if you I feel like they're doing the right things, but man, there's just a lot of horror games right now that have announced for PSVR. Horizon Zero Dawn, I think, is like the least scary thing, maybe No Man's Sky. And those are like really new, those are like really intense and stuff. So, but anyways, we do have some news to talk about as well. Peter says, "Hey Jay, I feel like I just saw you just because you saw me stream. You were just watching me stream Stray." Yes, I do have a Twitch, twitch.tv/godcanon, but it's zeros instead of O's. And yeah, I do flat screen games over there. So if you ever want to see me, I'm a big PlayStation guy. So if you ever want to see me play some of the newer releases, that's kind of what I'm doing there now. And I checked out Stray, and I really enjoyed it. So far, I'm like 2 hours in. It's a really cool cat game. I love things that are different. I'm so tired of playing kind of the same games over and over, which is why I love VR, because like gameplay wise, I'm like a gameplay first kind of person for the most part. And VR has just introduced so much new gameplay elements that are really awesome. MRI Gamer with the donation, thank you so much, man, getting that tip train going. I appreciate you. I gotta remember to look at the camera, but so it looks like I'm looking at you, I'm staring at you. But yeah, man, like I said, gonna be a chill episode. Definitely got some news and some discussion. If you're not interested in just kicking back and hanging out with the community, then I'll have some timestamps later so you can skip to the discussion. But I missed you guys. I've been away for a while. As some of you know, most of you hopefully know, I know I didn't do a community post about it, and I apologize for that. But yeah, I was going through some things lately, just burnt out, and then also on top of it all, had these horrible internet issues, and it was just super frustrating to do anything. So I said, you know what, screw it, I need a vacation anyways, and I stepped away for a little bit. But now we back, baby. Oh yeah. LC, you coming to the States, man? If you're coming around Atlanta, hit me up, homie. Corporate Zombie says even Stray has turned out to be a bit stressful. Why is that? I'll tell you, my favorite thing about Stray is that all the videos of people with their cats watching people play Stray, that it makes Stray worth it right there in itself. Absolutely amazing. And yeah, I love, there's even like a Twitter account that just posts videos and pictures of people's cats watching them play Stray. A couple dog ones too, where the dog like starts clawing the TV screen. pretty amazing. Space Dennison says, I am ready for the age of VR horror. Yeah, I don't think that there's anything wrong with VR horror. In fact, VR horror is one of the best genres that fits, or VR and horror, I should say, are like a match made in heaven. But it's, it wouldn't hurt to throw in some like some more lighthearted stuff. Like all this stuff really makes me crave like an Astrobot 2 even more. Something like an Astrobot. We really need something like that. Just to balance it out. I think variety is the spice of life. And like I said, as much as I love horror and action and stuff, I can't wait to see what other kind of games. I'm sure there's going to be a whole bunch. And there's actually one that I have to mention tonight that should fit the mold for that. Something that seems really relaxing and cool that I'm excited about. The Simpsons VR, would love that. What is up, man? The rest of you guys, Tornado, the game feline. Tornado's here. Ha! Suck it, Brian. Tornado's now my fan. Spiffy, good to see you. Aliens in space, says 420. Donatello, thank you for joining. Great tantrum. Good to see all you guys, man. Yeah, once we get into some topics and stuff, we're going to focus, but we're just going to have a little fun. Just letting you know what I've been up to and stuff. Again, if you haven't yet, I have a giveaway for a Quill statue, which you have to go check out. I got it right behind me. Look, I got my shelf fixed, by the way. Thank you for all of you motivating me to do so. I shouldn't say motivating because I wanted to do it. I just keep forgetting. I have a busy life now, and sometimes I forget to do things right and things like that. I'm also horrible at decorating. I've also got some new stuff that's going to be populating those walls back there that I can't wait to hang up. Got some cool gifts. Man, VR developers are just the best freaking people on the planet Earth, best developers ever when it comes to just being low key and like really in touch with their fan bases. A lot of them, anyways. Maybe not all of them, but a lot of the ones that we know and love. But yeah, man, I saw somebody who was that mentioned. I have not tried Metroid Dread. I would probably love that because I love Super Metroid. Aliens in Space is playing No Man's Sky now. Hopefully they can find it. Hopefully I can find an alien artifact to get to a Stargate. There's a bunch of missions you go on to collect, and then you get all the artifacts, and then you can open up those big Stargate portals. And let me tell you, they look amazing in VR. Since we're on the topic of No Man's Sky, yeah, I mean, I did a 2.5 hour stream on it yesterday. Really, really loved it. My favorite part so far, honestly, has been the space storms. Those storms look so good. And, I could just sit there all day. I even sat there on the stream for like 5 minutes or something. I need to like timestamp it so you can check it out. But man, I could just sit there for so long and just stare at the space storms because they look so good, and there's something oddly like satisfying and relaxing about them. What is up, old Darth? Good to see you. He says, okay, AJ. Yeah, exactly. Sony trying to scare us. Well, like I was saying in the beginning, man, there's a lot of stuff going on with the games that we've seen so far, and it's just like horror game after horror game after horror game, and there's a lot of horror, and I I know they should eventually balance that out, but right now I do feel like that they are, for people that aren't into horror, like we have to be mindful of those people too, of course, and sometimes you want to feel good and happy and not stressed out playing video games. And yeah, like I said, it would be nice to have some announcements, next couple announcements of some stuff that is a little bit more lighthearted and stuff. It doesn't have to be kid games or whatever, but I do look forward to seeing some more lighthearted adventures and just chill games, because right now there's some scary shit on the way. But we've got some great news, man. Obviously, one of the recent things that were announced was like Twilight Zone. You know, just another horror game. Twilight Zone VR is coming to PSVR2, which was leaked, or not leaked, but it was posted in a GameSpot article. We found about that, so that's another horror game. But in other news, there was something, and I want to make sure like I said, I do love me some horror too, Spliffy. I really do, and I'm not complaining. I guess I'm not. I'm definitely not complaining one bit, but I'm just saying there needs some balance. Like there needs to be some balance. Not everybody's into like, you know. I think what makes you can make you appreciate horror more is like, you know, just a variety of stuff. But I totally hear you guys, man. And that's why I love you guys. Astrobot 2 is, yeah, Gabriel says Astrobot 2 is going to be a survival horror game now. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at this rate. Everything is getting confirmed. More horror is good horror. I agree to a little bit. More horror, yeah, I do want to see plenty, but like we've discussed before, there's a lot of shitty horror games out there too, and I don't, you know, I'd rather the horror games be few and far between and be amazing than just have a shit ton of them and like only some of them are good. I like good games at the end of the day. Hawk 107, I hear you, man. He says it's suspicious Brian only cancels shows on Monday J's, but never cancels Wednesdays or Fridays. Well, he has canceled Fridays before and stuff. I think he has. There's just, you know, doing the YouTube thing is stressful and it takes a lot of work and it's for like, you know, it's a lot of work and sometimes can be a little bit of payoff. And so it's a pretty demanding thing. But we're very fortunate and very happy with where we're at right now. I mean, we're just kind of waiting for I'm personally waiting for PSVR 2 at this point. I'm throttling down. He's still going 100 miles an hour with what he's doing. And yeah, he needs to take a break every now and then. Great Tangent says, you think they're trying to get ready for Halloween? Maybe. It's going to be a year-long Halloween. Let's see. Horror games can be big selling point for VR. Shades of Gray Matter says they make for good live streams and YouTube videos. Yeah, but you know what's more important than YouTube and or like people watching videos is playing the games, buying the games and playing them. I think that is more important than, you know, what we do here, at least what I do. I like to support the games that I think don't get enough recognition. That's kind of why I started doing this, is because I wanted to be more vocal, give more support for games that get overlooked and be like, hey, like Song in the Smoke is a great example of a game as like the reason I do this. Song in the Smoke, Wanderer, games like that are the reason I do this. And, you know, you can't convince people to be into something that they're just not into. But you can at least go out there and put it on the record and say that these are amazing games and you should be playing them if you love video games. And that's at the very least, that's what we can do. And I think that is important. MRI with another donation. Thank you so much. And gave me a banana. Thank you for the potassium. Oh, and the sex bots are back. Great. I've had this horrible time with sex bots lately. They just love me, man. I guess they're attracted to the beanie. Sorry, let me get this here. I might have to mute this real quick. Mute myself. Let me make sure. Okay, thank you. Somebody got them. Somebody got the sex bots. Jesus Christ, man. Those things are killing me lately. Donatello, the Scientist Game Cat. Thank you so much for the donation with the little black cat. I think black cats are actually kind of lucky. Maybe I don't know. It's like Friday the 13th. Every Friday the 13th is also usually a really damn good day for me. Is that just me or anyone else? Anyone else out there feel the same way? Let's see here. Yeah, man, the sex bots are after me, dude. I don't know what their problem is. I was watching the 24-hour ridiculousness stream on here, and those sex bots were going. Yeah, they they've been really, really after me lately for some reason. I don't know why, but screw it, whatever. But yeah, so I guess like I said, there is a little bit of news to talk about here. One thing I want to bring up is that our good buddy, that's weird. The PC Wizard, who tagged me and Brian on Twitter earlier, found something pretty cool and said that, what did he say here? He says, been doing some digging into upcoming PSVR2 games and found this interesting tidbit. Archiac Interactive is working on a new high-profile IP sci-fi PSVR2 game. Intriguing. Very intriguing indeed. And good job, good little find there. Archiac, for those who don't know, they made a bunch of games, actually. They've both made and produced a lot of games. And some of them have actually been really, really good, I'd say. Let's see here. I've got a trailer here for Freediver Triton Down, which I think was actually a pretty badass game, even though it was kind of short, like 2 minutes long or whatever. It was still pretty damn good, and it introduced these swimming mechanics where you actually like did this and stuff and swam, and it was accurate. I'm not like the greatest swimmer ever, but I'm a pretty good swimmer. I was on swim team for a while, and like everything they did, like it felt really natural. I love to swim. I don't do it as much anymore as I'd like to, but their goal here is they're actually hiring for a game producer, and they say for the game producer, the responsibilities include owning an end-to-end production of development of a project to bring a VR game to PSVR 2. And they say it's going to be a sci-fi narrative adventure game in VR. So it'll be interesting to see what they come up with. I would love for them to actually double down on the Freediver IP. I know it's probably not the most like attention-grabbing thing ever, but I still thought it was a really cool game. I really think the worst thing about Freediver was that it was just short. It's like 2 hours. That's the problem with some of these games that are they can be really, really good, but I am a firm believer that if a game has to be at least like 8 hours, maybe not in every case, but it has to be anywhere from like 5 to 8 hours at least to like really burn in your brain, in your memory. There's stuff like Fracked that was absolutely incredible, but it was so short, it makes it so forgettable. I mean, before you have time to like process everything, it's over. So I've always been a fan of kind of longer games. And I think right around like 6 hours at the least for me is like where it will burn in my memory long enough, and I can remember it and appreciate it. But really good find from him over there. And Old TV says, do you do timestamps here too? I actually think I did the last time. I probably will. This one's going to be hard as hell to timestamp. I'm probably just going to stick to the main topics when I do that, because this is a very off the rails kind of show I'm doing today. Just happy to be back, man. Just really had a nice long break, and I needed it. I don't think I've ever gone 4 weeks without posting on the channel. And even during that time, I still worked on some stuff behind the scenes, preparing for this Moss giveaway. I was doing the Gamescast every Monday. A lot of people have been asking about, where have I been on Gamescast? Yeah, I do every Monday, 6 p.m. Every Monday show is me. And then there's my co-host, one of my other co-hosts, Virtual Strangers in the House. What up, Wes? Good to see you, man. Let's see here. Spliffy says System Shock 2 would be awesome. I agree. System Shock 2 is like one of my favorite games of all time. I would also love like Deus Ex. But okay, so they mentioned that high profile thing. I actually tweeted about it earlier and I deleted the tweet because that high profile chance to work on a high profile IP, I don't know if that to me, that's not concrete enough to say that it's like based on a thing. And unfortunately, Twitter doesn't have an edit button. so I couldn't just edit the high profile based on a high profile IP thing out of it. And I just didn't want to be misleading. It's hard sometimes to cover the news and get people excited, but also not be misleading, which, you can is easy to accidentally do sometimes. It's never my intention to do that. I mean, most of the time we're pretty spot on, but and we try to source our info, always source our info, and stuff, but sometimes it's also very like vague details we're given, and I don't know. It's not always easy. Shades of Gray Matter says, I feel like the swimming mechanics of Freediver were starting to wear thin by the end, but I'd love to see a game use the same mechanics, but also with lots of parts of on land. Yeah, I think that's kind of what Hubris looks like. Hubris kind of seems like it's going to could have some of that, and I like the mix of adventure there. A variety of, swimming, shooting, jumping, climbing, all that stuff. That to me is the best kind of game. I love when a game is the gameplay of a game is a collection of games. That's why like Final Fantasy VII is my favorite game of all time. Although No Man's Sky is like super close, man. No Man's Sky is really, really trying to upend Final Fantasy VII as my favorite game of all time. Those two are definitely my favorite two games of all time, I would say. Of course, with a whole bunch of other ones. But yeah, Hubris does look fantastic. Oh, the sex bot's back. Yay. God damn it, man. We don't need to find love, okay? We have each other. We have found our love within each other. God, they're killing me lately. Oh, super funny, man. I don't know what the deal is. I need like a spam blocker. God, they're like leeching onto me. MRI says, Wes, we should ask AJ about his opinion on Wraith. You sure you want to do that? My opinion on Wraith, MRI, I'll just tell you, man, was I was playing that, and Julia can attest to this, because she was in the other room, and I was playing it, and I was a couple hours in, and I remember just like yelling, and I don't like yell a lot when I'm playing a game. That's definitely not what you're supposed to be doing when you're enjoying a video game experience. But I was just like, fuck, like this is so boring. Like I don't want to play this anymore. It was just incredibly boring. I liked what Wraith was going for, but good God, that is like one of the most boring games and just such a slog to get through. I hated it, man. I loved what it tried to do. I loved some of the little things about it. But I don't know. I really do like fast travel games, but I feel like they've done nothing but move backwards from their original. Apex Construct was way ahead of its time. And I love Apex Construct, but man, the mods are getting put to work tonight, guys. I'm sorry, I can't do anything about that, but I appreciate the hell out of you mods, man. I'm gonna send you something nice in the mail. I need to get your addresses. Shades of Gray Matter says, I don't yell a lot. Remembers Dreadhall's stream. I'll tell you what, man. I miss doing Saturday Night Live streams. I've definitely got at least a couple more in me for the rest of the year. But I'm not going to miss Dreadhalls. But then with PSVR2, we're probably getting Cosmo Dread, and then it all starts over again. Every time somebody reminds me of Cosmo Dread, I'm just like, that's going to be my life for the next 4 years. This beard is going to be completely gray by the end of it, by the end of the PSVR2 life cycle. Yeah, man. Yep. But I'm actually really looking forward to, at the end of the day, at least Dreadhalls is a badass game. So I'm okay with that, It's all good. Also, hopefully Phasmophobia. That does look a lot of fun. Did you guys see Undead Citadel? Did you see that they finally released a demo? Holy shit. that that is crazy, man. I obviously Brian talked about it. Brian and Wes talked about it yesterday on Gamescast. I watched Brian stream it in Discord for a little while, and oh my god, like I don't think there's a game I've been following longer than that. That is definitely the longest VR game I've ever followed. Or the longest time I've ever followed a VR game. Holy shit. I've been following that game since like 2016. I have a video from like 2 years ago about upcoming sword fighting games, and Undead Citadel is number 1 on that list. And that list had like Swordsman. It had Vader Immortal on it. Oh man. And I think in the beginning of the video, or on that part, I even say good thing comes to those who wait. And it's like, God, I hope so. Golem 2.0. Oh, Golem. Oh. All they had to do was just put in a regular locomotion system, and it would have been a top 10 game, maybe top 15, top 20. There's a lot of good games these days. But man, I still appreciate Golem, even though it's the stupidest, most boneheaded control scheme design, which is awful, like backache inducing, terrible. Yeah, they've scrapped development on Undead Citadel a few times and restarted, which I'm glad, you know. And there's a couple people I'm already seeing like comparing it to like Swordsman or Hellsplit Arena and stuff, and they're like, but it's so much better. I'm like, well, it's been in development for fucking 5-6 years. It better be better than those games. Like, otherwise it's a waste of years of your life working on it or covering it or being excited for it, which I hate. Not a sponsor. I don't have any sponsors. But Mountain Dew has Baja Blast in the store, and I had to get some because that's like the only reason to go to Taco. I like to go to Taco Bell is for Baja Blast. It's a guilty pleasure of mine. Anyways, yeah, I've been talking a little bit about like backwards compatibility and remasters and stuff, and I've talked to a couple developers behind the scenes. There's a couple really, really awesome PSVR2 games that are coming. There's a couple that I can't talk about, unfortunately, because it would be awful, but definitely some huge surprises in the way off future. But also was talking to them about like, you know, remasters and stuff, and just the general vibe I'm getting is just Sony's not being like super proactive right now, and about like, you know, getting games remastered. I'm guessing they're focusing more on like what we've seen so far, and I'm sure they have a bunch of surprises and stuff, but I do look forward to at some point, hopefully, them being a little bit more proactive again, and reaching out to developers and getting them to say, hey, why don't you bring this? Why don't you bring this? Or why don't you make this for us? You know, that's how we ended up getting something like A Song in the Smoke, which was just badass and came out of nowhere. Peter the Underground Game Cat says, I remember when Dave started saying some NDA stuff and you and Brian freaked out. I miss Dave. I talk to him every now and then. Love that dude. He's last time I talked to him, he seemed like he was in pretty good spirits. And I hope we get to have him up on again, because Dave is crazy, man. He can play a game for like 1 hour and like review the whole thing accurately. I'm like, I can beat a game and he can still review it better than I can. But anyways, MRI with the new donation. Thank you so much. And the unicorn. Oh man. Oh, there's I do have a stream over on Dave's. You know, Dave used to do these drunk plays, like let's drunk play games, and I remember I think I chugged like an entire bottle of wine or something, and then I did a stream on his, and I was like, had the great idea to stream on his channel, because, you know, I probably won't ever do that on my channel or anything, but I was like, it's so fitting for Dave's channel to do a drunk stream, and I streamed Hotel R&R, which was a lot of fun, and it was a lot of fun streaming it plastered after drinking like an entire bottle of wine. Don't recommend doing that. I'm a professional, okay? I'm a professional. Leave it to the professionals. Nah, you guys could probably all do it. What am I talking about? Trent Stanley says, ice cold Baja Blast is so refreshing, this volcanic heat. That's true. Yeah, right now it has been hot as hell. In Atlanta, it's been thunderstorming a bunch. So it's been like kind of counteracting the heat. So it's actually been kind of nice. Yeah, it's either been like 100 degrees or it's been storming here. It's crazy. I actually kind of almost prefer the storming. But a tornado game feline fract stream was the NDA. Oh yeah, it was fract was the thing that was NDA, and yeah, he was like, we can talk about it, right? And he was like about to say it. We're like, no. Yeah. Dead Ringer, thank you so much for the donation. Get the little Astrobot dance. Go Astro, go Astro. Man, did anybody buy that Astrobot toy? There's an official Astrobot toy. I've got a link to it on my Twitter, and you can go buy it. And yeah, I had to buy one. It was like, I don't know. It's like 60. No, it was like 60, 80 bucks, something like that. It was expensive. But it's an Astrobot toy, man. I've told everybody before, I don't really collect a lot of like statues and the game statue stuff, but I'll collect the shit out of anything PSVR. I've even got collectible without parole pens. I got a bunch of stuff. Actually, they're all in my Moss mug too that I bought. I love collecting PSVR stuff. It's so cool. But that's about it. Other than that, I probably won't. Definitely not beanie weather. I know I'm probably driving a lot of you nuts wearing a beanie. I'm sorry about that, but it's kind of my thing. It is. I am one with the beanie. I guess there's a couple other things to talk about here. For sure. Again, just shooting the shit. Just wanted to have some fun. So I need to make. Well, anyways, so while we're on the getting back into talking about some cool things, there's actually some really cool PSVR news here. I'm definitely gonna save the exciting stuff for last, the best one. I don't know, maybe I don't want to get your hopes up, but there is, let's get this up here. This is something I haven't had a chance to cover. This is something I wanted to talk about on Monday's Gamescast before it was scrapped. And that is Aliens by Survios. Aliens is like one of my favorite franchises ever. One of my favorite things ever. And there hasn't really been, I don't remember the last good Aliens movie I saw. I guess I kind of liked Prometheus, but it's kind of a stretch to call that an Aliens movie. There's like one xenomorph at the end, or like something. Like that's it. I don't know what they were going for with that. Still not a bad movie when you compare it to other movies. It's like not a bad movie. But yeah, I wanted to touch on this like Survios thing. Obviously, this was supposed to be. I told a lot of you that I was going to be doing interactive chat tonight because Survios was supposed to have a panel today and show off their Aliens VR game, and I was really, really excited about it. But then they said TQ, who I guess is who's heading up their panel, got COVID, and so they couldn't do it anymore. Unfortunate. So we're gonna have to wait a little bit longer for some Aliens info. But I was like looking forward to it all week long. And somebody actually told me, I think it was Shades, told me like while I was on stream last night, that they had postponed it. So this will be an interesting discussion. So let's just break down what we know real quick, and I'll give you my opinions on it. An untold alien story. Survios is embarking on a new collaboration with 20th Century Games to develop an intense single-player action horror game set in the iconic Alien universe. So it's single-player, and it's action horror. This new Aliens game will feature an entire original storyline set between the Alien and Aliens film, where a battle-hardened veteran has a vendetta against the xenomorphs. I wonder if there's going to be like some tie-in with the movie and like some surviving character that they do, and it's like, oh, this person was actually alive, and try to integrate it into the movie a little bit. Would be interesting to see. It says it's an original storyline, so obviously the aliens exist in all around that universe, so there could be a spin-off story anywhere that would work. The game will take full advantage of Survios' expertise in creating immersive and authentic gaming experiences and being developed for PC, console, and VR. And here's probably the best thing that we know about it so far, which is created using Unreal Engine 5. So what we can gather from this is that the game's going to look damn good. It's going to look really, really good. I think of all the stuff I've seen on it so far, the Unreal Engine 5 is definitely the most exciting. Spliffy says, Spliffy the Smoking Game Cat, new gamer tag for AJ, Beardo Beanie. I should do that. I should do that to Beardo Benjo. Which I don't know that dude very well, but seems like a nice guy. Seems like a cool dude. Shades of Grey Matter. So that's basically all the info we know so far. Horror, action, set in the universe, is some like spin-off with a guy with a person with a vendetta against the thing. Shades of Grey Matter says, I've got high hopes for the Survios Aliens game, but they've got their work cut out for them. If it isn't as good as Alien Isolation VR mod, people will be disappointed. It's probably not going to be as good as Alien Isolation. I don't know about the VR mod because I haven't played it. I mean, obviously it's going to have better VR mechanics than the VR mod. Because as far as I know, that's just Warpix. I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong. I don't think there's any like, what's that guy's like Lucas something. I don't think there's like any mods from him or anything. This game should have some pretty good mechanics. Survios are good at the little fine details, the little mechanics and stuff. But I've gone on the record to say this before, and I don't want to shit on Survios because I really, really do like them. But they've been kind of on a downhill trajectory for a while now. I mean, and I was really, really surprised that so many people were also calling them out and being like, well, Survios hasn't really made anything that is like, blown us away. And it's sad to see that because I really thought Survios was going to be like one of the best like VR developers on like in the game by this point. And we kind of just saw them slowly get, go more and more into mediocrity a little bit. Puzzle Bobble was not fun to play. I mean, Julie is like the biggest Bubble Bobble fan on earth, and she played that for like 10 minutes and was like, this is terrible. We tried playing it to have fun. It was just not good. It looked great and it like everything, but gameplay wise, The Walking Dead Onslaught was such a disappointment. It's good that this is single player because then at least they'll be able to focus on the game being single player. And because we all know what happened with Onslaught, which was supposed to be a multiplayer game. I mean, it was built for multiplayer and then basically had the multiplayer ripped out of it unceremoniously, and they never really compensated for the lack of multiplayer. If they would have just added multiplayer to Onslaught, it actually probably would have been a lot better. Probably would have been a lot of fun. People would have liked it a lot more. You don't even have to. I'm not even judging Onslaught being compared to Saints and Sinners, which just so happens that's a little bit unfortunate luck on their part, because Saints and Sinners happens to be one of the greatest VR games of all time. But take Saints and Sinners out of the picture, and just Onslaught was just a mediocre game. Like, I wasn't judging it, comparing it to that, saying, oh, well, it didn't have this. Like, it actually, if anything, it actually has a couple tiny things that it actually did better than Saints and Sinners. Like the details of the zombies, and once they got it patched, like, I don't know, 6 months later, the way you could actually kind of carve them up and stuff was actually pretty fun. But so, you know, here's my other concern is that there's a lot of Alien games, and a lot of them are bad. Like, there's a lot of Aliens games that don't turn out well, just like the movies. There's a lot of Aliens movies. So, I don't know. Luckily, I think worst case scenario here is like it's kind of a shallow game, and it maybe has like some really great mechanics. It looks beautiful. It's probably, you know, pretty terrifying because it's aliens and they scare the shit out of me. But then, like, you know, but I'm hoping for like a really memorable, deeper experience would be nice too. Dan Keeper says, I remember Alien 3 on SNES. I do too. And I remember it was all right. I don't know if there's any difference between the PS version. I don't remember if there's a difference between the SNES and the Sega version. Awesome Tatum, my dude in the house, says, I liked Onslaught. It's a 6 out of 10 game, but I agree multiplayer would have helped. Yeah, it was designed for multiplayer. It's not like anything nefarious. It was designed for multiplayer, had the multiplayer ripped out. So naturally, it's hard to compensate for that without completely redesigning the game, which they probably did redesign it some. But it just wasn't enough. It was so, I don't know. VR is really, you know, it's all about immersion with VR and what it can do to just make you even more immersed when it comes to the gameplay, the presentation. That's why I love No Man's Sky, because like it's an open universe sandbox game and you never have a loading screen. Once you're in there, you're in there. The loading screen is designed as like a warp that never takes you out of the moment. So it's just you want to feel like you can live in a VR game sometimes, unless of course it's like built around arcade stuff. But yeah, Servios has done a lot of arcade style games, and I just hope the interesting thing here though is that it's also a flat screen game, so it will be interesting to see how, you know, are they going to try to compete with other flat screen games as well? Like how high are they going to try to reach with this one? It is the Aliens universe. It is the Alien IP. So I think the safe thing we can say here is that it'll probably sell a lot, regardless of it being good or bad. It will sell because it's Aliens. They know what they're doing on that front. But I just hope they back it up with some quality too. I really, really hope that they produce a quality game here, a great hybrid, a great example of a VR hybrid. I know Servios is capable of this, unless they're just all the original people are gone. I mean, some of their first games, Raw Data and Sprint Vector, are like really, really good, especially if you put for the time that they came out. They were way ahead of the time. And so they're definitely capable. Aliens versus Predator. Nefarious, is that a reference to Ratchet and Clank? No. Just I need to go back to playing that Ratchet and Clank game too. But let's see. Markio. Oh, do you think Markio, my dude, the Zenith addicted game cat, my homie, what's up, man? Says, do you think the polish will show through? Oh, the polish. Do you think the polish will show through? I was thinking Polish Paul. Do you think the polish will show through more than other games at this period because they have the 20th century backing them? Well, I mean, I think Survios makes pretty polished games as is. I don't think the polish is the thing I'm worried about. I'm worried about the depth, and I'm worried about the depth of the game and just the structure of it, because that's really what they've struggled with. The even stuff like Battle Wake should have been an amazing game, and sadly, it was such a shallow experience that it killed it. I mean, it had the graphics, it had the gameplay, it had the style, the everything. But it was so shallow that it just killed it. So I'm just hoping that if they can get a non-shallow game with this, they'll be all right. It needs to be fun, and it needs to be like kind of have some depth to it. They nail those two things here, we're good to go. No problems here. We're good. But they have to do it. And I just Battle Wake, Kramer 3 Cases, Battle Wake was an awesome first 10 minutes. Yeah, I mean, it was awesome for the first 2 hours, but then it was over. Again, you got to have a longer game to really have a lasting impact. There's very few and far between. I think games like Journey have proven that you can have a short game and it be memorable, but I mean, how many games are really get the recognition that Journey does, or did at the time? Thank you so much, Peter the Underground Game Cat on parole. Thank you. But I am nonetheless. I'm definitely going to temper my expectations here for this Aliens game, but I'm hopeful. And I really want Survios to shut me up and to prove me wrong and make me look like an asshole. And because if they do, then it's going to be an amazing game. So prove me wrong, Survios. I believe in you. I do. I still think they have what it takes, but it's been a rough couple years. I hope it's just not another cash grab. But we'll see. We shall see. What up, Hack the Game Cat? What up, Play Up? Knew it was lit up in here. What up, McCon Artist? It would need to be a DualSense hybrid. Yeah, I would use the DualSense and the DualSense controllers. PlayStation VR2 Sense controllers. They should have just called it the Orbs. Why didn't they do that? Distracted says, I think Mossbook 2 will sell better on PSVR2 if they just lower the price a little. Yeah, the cool thing, and I've talked about Mossbook 2 before, which just came out today on Quest. If you guys have Quest 2s out there, go freaking get Moss. What are you doing? Like, you should be playing Mossbook 2 right now, because it's awesome. It's really, really good. And yeah, the cool thing about if you wait for PSVR 2, then you'll get the stuff like the haptics where you get to like rub Quill and pet Quill and get to feel that, which would be cool, and like interact with the environment and stuff. They talked about in a Play Magazine article, they talked before about being able to pet Quill and feel her fur and stuff in the haptics and stuff. Morbs. What up, Zach Wilder? Orbs. What up, Realist Dad? Trent Stanley says, where's that Predator VR game? The studio that was making that was some Fox Interactive studio, and it was, I think, right before they were bought by Disney. They were making a Predator VR game. Oh, the sex bots are back. Thank you, mods. They were making a Predator VR game, and then the studio, I think when Disney bought Fox or something like that, I think, and they closed that studio down. And I think that leaking was like a last-ditch effort to try and get enough hype and momentum behind the Predator VR game to get it made. But it just wasn't enough. And, you know, Disney's like, we got more money. We're good. We don't need your Predator VR game. Raise the beanie shields. Oh, man. But yeah. Uh, anyways, so again, this was going to be the main topic for tonight. There's still one more thing that I want to talk about, though. That's really, really awesome. Actually, two more things, I think. I don't know. I'm not really scripting. Tonight's show is no script. We're just hanging out, having fun. So let's see here. So we'll have to wait and see on this for more details. Likely going to be a PSVR2 game, hybrid, and hopefully is really good. Seems like people like their flat screen games too, so I don't know. We'll see. So let's see. Need to watch that interview West did with the Moss devs. Open in a different tab as you speak. Nice. Yes, I don't know what's with the bots, man. I don't know. They're crazy. Didn't they make Moss 1 free though? I think that was a mistake. They should have bundled it with Moss Book 2 at launch. They did have, during the Play at Home initiative, they did have Moss Book 1 for free. It was like Moss, Paper Beast, Subnautica, Res Infinite, maybe. There was definitely some cool games for free. I think it's fine. I think Moss Book 1 sold over 1 million things, 1 million copies. So, I didn't even realize I had the tab still open here. So you're going to see what I'm going to talk about next. And that is that the PlayStation 5 version of Resident Evil Village will be compatible with PlayStation VR 2. Every now and then I just check around and I was trying to see if I could find any update, kind of like what I showed you guys with Wizard. I forgot his name already. He's got his Twitter handle that told us about Archiac looking at the job listings. I don't usually go deep diving into job listings and stuff. But I just was browsing through. I was actually trying to see if I could find some mistakes, and I was trying to see if there's maybe something lingering around about Resident Evil 4, and then I saw this, and I was like, oh shit. And so if you have the PlayStation 5 version of Resident Evil Village, then guess what? You might already have it for PlayStation VR 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my eye out when it's on sale again, and hopefully can pick it up dirt cheap. And then, even if I have to, I don't know, this doesn't necessarily confirm that it's going to be a free upgrade, but that's what all signs are pointing to, is that they're doing, and this is something that I thought was going to happen even before they showed this. Because we did have a discussion in the Discord a while back, and some people were saying it's going to be a separate buy, a separate purchase, and some people were saying it's going to be a $10 upgrade. I thought it was like, no, it's just going to be the game. It's just going to get a VR update, and that's how they're going to do it. That's what they did with Resident Evil 7. Now I could see them charging additional for the upgrade because of the work that's gone into it. However, I do feel like the sales they make off PlayStation, the relationship Capcom has with Sony, and yeah, they just don't really, and Sony probably paying Capcom to integrate VR support in some deal. I don't think they have to worry about trying to make even more money off of it. I think Sony's already paid them out, and it'll just sell more copies of the base game and get the VR version too. So pretty awesome news. There's not a whole lot of new details here, although that does confirm that the PlayStation, it's not going to be a separate version. It's going to be the PlayStation 5 version, will be compatible, likely a free upgrade, but we'll have to wait and see. They do talk about 4K resolution, vivid HDR graphics, eye tracking, 3D audio, other advanced technologies. A lot of this stuff we already know. It's going to look freaking amazing. It's going to utilize a lot of the different systems in the game, or it's going to introduce some new systems to the game, and I'm really, really excited about it. I think Resident Evil Village is a huge, huge VR headset seller. A lot of the games, even though, just a lot of the games we've seen so far have been, I feel like really good system sellers. I've seen people talking about No Man's Sky being a system seller for them, and I don't blame you. I always said before in the past that if I didn't have VR and I would have saw an announcement for No Man's Sky getting PSVR support, I would have bought a PSVR headset right then and there. Luckily, I already had one, so I was good to go. Borbs. Yep. Mark Pringles Leaf in the House of Night says, AJ, would you like to see a Zing 2 come out for PSVR2? Absolutely. That's like one of my favorite games of all time. Definitely one of the most surprising games. I didn't think I'd give a shit about Zing. And then I played it and I was like, okay, this is amazing. It's gorgeous. Really good puzzles. And I hate puzzles. But I really, really like these. It was just cool. It was a fun game to get lost in, and I'd settle for a VR2 version. Those poor developers, 3 developers spent 6 years making Zing, and I don't think I'd ask them to spend another 6 years making another Zing. But man, would I love it. Absolutely. Let's see, what do we got here? What are you guys saying here? Yeah, Zing was amazing. There's also, I think there's a new sale going on right now. There's a bunch of new games on sale. And so there might not be a viewer's choice stream this weekend. However, I'm probably going to stream just shitload of games that are on sale that I would probably recommend. What I'll probably do is let you guys pick and choose a couple here and there. So that, you get a little viewer's choice in there. If there's a game you want to see, I would love to play it, but I think, yes, Looper, says Vertigo Home, 60% off. Hell yeah. And I see all you are is History. I'm proud of you, History. He picked up Vertigo Home. It's not a toy. I love Vertigo Home. I actually made, at one point, it got taken down, but I made the official trailer for Vertigo Home that was on the PlayStation Store. And then somebody came along and made a mixed reality one, and they replaced it with the mixed reality. There's still like a clip or two of mine in the trailer, but I was so proud of that. And then, damn it, man, it got ruined by mixed reality. And it didn't even look good as my gameplay. I take so much pride in the gameplay, but Looper, thank you so much for the donation. Keep that tip train going. Welcome back into the game. Thank you, man. I mean, I never really left, but I had to take a vacation for sure. But thank you. It is great to be back. I'm super excited. But yeah, we're definitely going to be checking out stuff like Vertigo Home. Can't wait to show that off. There's a whole lot of games on sale, and I can't remember them off the top of my head, but I can't wait to do. It's gonna be probably early Saturday, so get your cereal. It's gonna be your Saturday morning PSVR cartoons. It's gonna be awesome, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Shade says I bought and beat Fisherman's Tale for Backlog Club. Fun, charming title, but I wouldn't pay more than the sale price. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of a Fisherman's Tale. I liked it for about the first half of it, and then I was just like, meh. Like, I don't know. It's charming, like you said. Charming, looks good. What up, Super Galaxy Godstar? 71 games on sale. Holy shit. Yeah, I'm just gonna pick a good chunk of those. Probably be a couple hours long stream, and we'll go through some of the different games. Trent says Resident Evil Village is going to be mind-blowing in the PSVR 2 headset. Yes, it is, my friend. A lot of games on PSVR 2 are going to be mind-blowing, my friend. It's going to be so good. Oh, yeah, Zach Wilder says Hotel R&R is on sale. Yeah, highly recommend Hotel R&R. You have to understand what it is, but I think it's amazing, and I think it's actually really, really fun. And, it's really, really fun. It's silly. It's like just being a rock star and trashing the place. But this is the thing that I think most people don't know about Hotel R&R is that it has like a billion mini games in it. and those mini games are awesome. It has local co-op as well, or not. I'm sorry, not local co-op. It has like a local versus mode, like a local party mode, where you kind of switch the headset off and you just break shit. But the mini games in Hotel R&R are such a little hidden gem within the game. Like I said, I love games within a game. I really, really do. Time to PlayStation VR. What's up, dude? Says I got Hotel R&R last night, and then that mini racing game, Mini Motor Racing X. It's all right. I'm not the biggest fan of Mini Motor Racing X. It looks phenomenal, but it's just kind of boring. Like, I don't know. It's kind of boring. The Rocket League mode, though, you got to play the Rocket League mode in Mini Motor Racing X. That's actually pretty fun for a little bit. But yeah, the game it's overall just gets really repetitive after a while, and like was just super repetitive. Ooh, Catch and Release is on sale. Oh man, you get me excited. Yeah, I can't wait to go through the list and pick some stuff and play. And like I said, we're gonna spend hours and hours Saturday playing some stuff. And I hope Trent says, I hope that someone brings Stray to the PSVR2 table. I don't know how you do that, but that would be cool. I'd be down. Play like first person as the cat. Why not? I don't know. I don't know if that would really work. It seems like it'd be a hard fit unless you did it third person is the only way really. I feel like it would work, but I don't know. It kind of takes away from it a little bit in a way. It just doesn't really need it, but yeah, Catch and Release is so good. Wander. Oh yeah, Winds and Leaves is on deep sale too. And I always try to tell people how much I love Winds and Leaves. It's a really, really good game. I mean, it has really good VR mechanics. I get that it's, kind of a little bit slower paced and stuff, and you're kind of just walking around planting seeds, but there's a lot of cool stuff. Like, I think it's a really, really objectively well-designed game. Trebuchet makes good shit, and, it's maybe not for everybody, but I think it's a really, really impressive game. Really good game. Maybe not super impressive, but really good, well-designed. Well, guys, I think that's going to about do it for today. I don't think... yeah, there was something else. I mean, I was going to mention... there was something really cool PSVR2 related, and that is these developers, Better Than Life, have confirmed now that they are planning to bring Kayak VR Mirage to PlayStation VR 2. And my God, look at it. Just look at it. Jesus Almighty. It looks so good. What's funny was that I was actually, I was literally telling Julia recently that I wanted to make something, a stunning kayaking game in Dreams. I'm gonna make a Dreams game eventually, and I was just talking to her about how bad I want to make a kayaking game in Dreams, and then I saw this and I was like, you know what? I don't even need to anymore. Like, look at this shit. This looks amazing. This looks better than anything I could do for sure. And yeah, I'm really, really excited. I love to see the multiplayer. I love to see the time trials, the tracks and stuff, the fast pace, the slow pace, the views, the ramping, all that stuff looks incredible. And I didn't even realize these developers followed me on Twitter. I don't know if they just did recently or what, but I tweeted about it and they responded, and yeah. So man, just really, really awesome. I can't wait to see something like this hit the headset. Looks amazing, man. And on that note, really, really excited, man. On that note, guys, thank you for being here. A lot of you turned out tonight, man. Good to see you guys. And I don't know if you like this format of just hanging out. That's what it's about, man. Keeping the community together and having fun. Wanted to try something a little different here, and just let it be natural. And just wanted to have some fun with you guys, shoot the shit for a little bit. So definitely give me any feedback if you like the format. Of course, there's news topics too. A lot of the stuff like news related and stuff. I'll still be doing games casts, so kind of save it for there. When we can, but I wanted to do something here that's especially different. Oh, look, the sex bot is back. Want to find love? We will help. Oh my God, give it a rest, guys. All yours history. Don't click on it. I do have to tell him don't click on it because he's like, friend, love, yes. He's already infected. That's why he's not commenting anymore. They've already hacked into his system. R.I.P. history. R.I.P. But yeah, man, I'm gonna be doing some more gaming. I'm gonna go have some fun. I'm gonna play some No Man's Sky, some more of that. I got a lot more work to do in No Man's Sky to get my stuff. I want to get my outside stuff on my freighter and just stand outside on my freighter and look into space and let a space storm hit me in the face. Sounds like a great time. And then yeah, the plan is for Saturday, guys, be covering a bunch of stuff on the sale, streaming some games. And then again, if you want to check out non-VR stuff, you can go to my Twitch. The link's in the description. And I'm always playing some non-VR stuff on the Twitch. And one last time, if you haven't yet, make sure you enter the giveaway for the Moss thing. Here it is in all of its glory. You have to enter. I've got two. It's not this one. This one's actually mine. But I've got two unopened boxes, guys, for you. Something to give back to you guys, man, for just always being so supportive. And big shout out to Polyarc Games for being freaking amazing and just super awesome. And, they didn't have to do this for me and to do this for us. And they literally were just like, hey, why don't you give this away to some people? And I was like, oh, yes. Okay. Can I have one too? And they're like, yeah. Also, if you guys have a Quest 2, they gave me a code for Mossbook 2 as well. If somebody wants it, just message me in the Discord. And you can have it. Like, I got a Quest, I'll buy the game and just give you guys the key or something. I don't know. But if you're in Europe or whatever, you can go to my Patreon, sign up for $1. It doesn't even charge you till the end of the month. So you can literally, if you're in Europe, go sign up to my Patreon for $1 and then you can cancel it before the end of the month or whatever. Although that would be dick. So don't do that. I don't want to do that against all the people that have been supporting me for a long time. But anyways, man, you guys, love you guys. It's good to be back. You guys have a wonderful rest of the night. And I will see you Saturday morning with some PSVR goodness, man, that's on sale. It was great to see you guys. You have a wonderful rest of the night. I'll see you in the Discord. Y'all take it easy. Underground out. Can we get out of here with some metal? Let's get out of here with some metal. Yes. Thank you guys. Good night, Cleveland.